credit crunch continue to be felt, and this time it's the car industry. Fewer of us are buying cars. The UK figures are grim, but the Scottish figures are even worse. Our business correspondent Hayley Miller is at a car showroom for us tonight. Hayley, so just how bad is it?
Well, Jackie, if retailers can't get us to spend a few pounds, you can bet it's a lot harder for car dealers who want us to spend a few thousand. Sales of these have fallen faster here than across the UK. In December, new car sales in Scotland fell by 32% compared to 21% in the UK. Throughout 2008, new car sales here dropped by 15%, much worse than the 11% drop in the UK. It's yet another example of how our spending habits are changing in these tough economic times.
The gloss and prestige of a new car was until recently an aspiration for many, but the credit crunch and looming recession have made them a little less desirable. Despite today's poor sales figures, some are hoping they've seen the worst.
I think we're beginning to see a slowdown of the slowdown. So we're very encouraged, and there are sectors that are doing very, very well. Like, for example, the hybrid here, £15 a year road fund licence. This is the kind of thing the general public won't know.
Even substantial discounts haven't been enough to tempt customers.
Consumer confidence has gone, and the second thing is the lack of credit being made available by banks and finance houses. That in itself is a major problem. The banks seem to have even less confidence than consumers have, and we're certainly looking to the government to ensure or urge the banks, some of whom they now own, to start releasing cash and credit so that consumers can do as the Prime Minister has asked and spend their way out of the recession.
But for every business suffering from the downturn, another will benefit. This garage in Glasgow is enjoying a boost from people deciding to make do.
My customers are keeping their cars longer, which brings them into the 3 years and 4 year old vehicles. When a vehicle becomes 3 years old, it must have an MOT, so we are getting busier on the MOT side. If you can keep us busy as this, we'll be quite happy.
Today, more new cars have been arriving at this showroom, but with no improvement in sight, who knows how long they'll sit.
Well, the Scottish Motor Trade Association has today been talking to MPs, urging them to put pressure on the banks to lend to people because, of course, they say most cars are purchased through credit rather than cash. They also want the government to speak to car retailers rather than manufacturers because they say 6 times as many people work in the sales side across the UK. Jackie.
Thanks very much, Hayley. Oh, that brings us to a new feature on Lunchtime Reporting Scotland.